Hey, welcome everybody. It's Mr. Reality, joined by psychic medium remote viewer, world-renowned Liz Cross. Liz, how are you doing?
I'm great, Miss Reality. How are you?
I'm great. It's been a while since we did an old-time painter, and so I wanted to see if we could bring in the energy. This is Edgar Degas, and one of his contemporaries where he worked along Manet, Monet, Renoir, and Marie Cassatt. A couple of those we've done. And most of his paintings are, some of them are risque. I hope those won't show up on YouTube today, but what we're trying to do, he painted a lot of ballerina pictures. He's painted his silhouettes in the park and kind of influenced by early Italian painters as well. And so I don't know really that much about him, but I wanted to ask him what drove him.
Ooh, what drove you to painting? Like what made you want to paint? Oh, he always loved painting, even from a very, very small child. He was always drawing, always painting something. It was just an outlet for him, he says. He would just tune everyone out and just he would get lost in his drawings and his paintings.
Did he have like a type of, we didn't know this word back then, but was it like an Asperger's idea that maybe made him so centrally focused?
Did you have any sort of Asperger's or anything like that? No, but he was just fascinated with the ballerinas. Why were you so fascinated? He just thought they were beautiful, they moved beautifully. Did you have some sort of obsession with them? He's like a slight obsession. He just thought they were very beautiful.
He was very private about his life and had a few friendships in life with some models and also with Marie Cassatt. Um, why did you keep this emotional distance from people in your life?
Why did you keep this emotional distance from people? He just didn't connect with other people on any sort of level. I mean, he was polite. He was very quiet, but he just couldn't connect with people very well.
What was the stem that started his inability to connect with people? Was it from a previous life or something that scarred him early in life?
What what was the stem that started this, disconnect? I mean, he was always kind of disconnected. It always started early in life. Now, I feel that the household he grew up in, there was a lot of arguing. Okay, there was a lot of arguing, a lot of heated discussions. He didn't want to be part of that. So he would hide or escape in his paintings, in his drawings, and he just became withdrawn. So that never left him.
He came from a wealthy family. Did he like have, was he scolded or something as a child, which made him shy away from relationships?
Hmm. No, no, but there was a lot of arguing, I can hear it. It's very noisy in his household. A lot of shouting, a lot of accusations, not towards him, but the people in the household were always fighting.
Did his dad want him to go into banking, and was he kind of angry that he went into painting instead?
Did your dad want you to go into something? Oh yeah, did your dad want you to be something other than, yeah, he thought my paintings were rubbish. He thought I was a waste of space, a waste of time. Did you get along with your father? No, not at all. Did you get along with your mother? No. He didn't really get along with anyone.
That's true. What is he sad about that now, or does he think, that's just a way, made him a better painter?
Ooh, are you sad about that now? No, it did make him a better painter because he almost like implanted himself within the paintings that he was doing at the time. It was like he was in the painting itself. He was envisioning like what was going on and the energy, and that's just how he liked to communicate. He'd rather have some sort of relationship inside those paintings with
Hmm.
those that he is painting, right? The girls, the ballerinas. He would rather, he had like this false fantasy perception
Wow.
Yeah. And he would pretend that he was actually in the room with whoever he was painting and that he knew them well.
Like
And
people do
that,
now with video games.
yeah, oh, like people do now with video games. Yeah, a bit like that. Yeah, it was like it was another world for him.
How does he think that either diminished or, limited his ability to connect with people in that lifetime?
Do you think it diminished your ability? Yeah, totally diminished his ability to connect with people. He'd rather be with those people, whether they were fictitious or not. Some were they mostly fictitious? Mostly. I mean, sometimes they were real, but he just created this like fantasy world.
Did he have any type of like animosity or anger towards women or
Did you have any animosity or anger towards women? No, he loved women. He loved the beauty of women. He loved the mystery. He was exceptionally shy around women too. Um, did you have any sort of relationships with women? I feel like he did have one relationship. Um, and what did that make you feel like? Again, she was very feisty. She was very forthright. She called all the shots, right? She was a bit of a drinker. Was she a ballerina? She was, yes, she was a ballerina.
and so for him, what was he trying to capture when he was painting? Was it not really the reason I'm asking? It seems like as a painter, he wasn't painting for us, the audience, but he was painting as a fantasy escape for himself.
Were you painting for the audience? Not really. He was painting for himself.
That's what I picked up on. And so is
Look at
he
this. Sorry, this one where the lady is like, so the ones that are not ballerinas, where the lady is like naked, she's bending over, I guess, picking up something. What is she doing there?
she's getting out of a bath, I assume there's a lot of bath like paintings that he's made.
Mm.
So I don't know if he had models for those or if he just imagined them.
Ooh, did you have models for those? Yes. And I mean, so when you had a model that you were painting, did you work up like some fantasy in your head? So then, no, not really when he was painting models. Um, but his best work seemed to be when he was in the fantasy.
And what did he do? I mean, well, I guess he was painting only for himself, but how does he feel now that we're looking at his paintings and talking to him about them?
How do you
Does he
feel
feel like
now?
he can be more expressive or does he still maintain shyness in the afterlife?
Do you feel like no, he doesn't want to be expressive. He will always remain a shy personality, even in the next lifetime. Are you here at the moment? No, he's still in spirit. So what do you think about the fact that we're looking at your paintings? Oh, he's delighted. He can't believe it, really, that people admire his work so much. He feels very honored, he says, and it just, he's so thankful.
So it's almost 110 years since he crossed over. Has he incarnated briefly or has he not incarnated in the last 110 years?
Have you incarnated briefly? No, he's been in the spirit world.
How long are you able to stick around over there?
How long are you able to stick around? How much longer do you have? He doesn't have that much longer. How much longer? About 30 years to us. But of course, there's no time or space up there. So when he says 30 years to us here, that's like nothing up there.
Are there any types of games that you can play over there? Can you tell us about them if there are?
Are there any types of games you can play over there? Well, yeah, you can play energy games. You can sharpen your skills. You can send energy, like energy tag. They do an energy tag game. That's interesting.
How many people are engaged in your game of hide and seek energy throwing?
You can have up to 100.
And is he engaged in these types of games? What other games are there?
Have you engaged in these types of games? No, he's a bit more serious than that. What other games are there? Are there like any sort of um like chess or anything that we know? Like, no, not really. They throw energy balls to each other. They kick energy balls. And I'm saying, but the energy balls that you are those other souls? Does that hurt another soul? No. So you may have another soul that volunteers to be the energy ball that is thrown. And of course, if you
Masochistic
miss,
ball that it is, right?
yeah. And if you miss, then it becomes, if you miss the catch, then it becomes it. And then the person or the soul that missed the catch then becomes the one that's thrown about. It's all good fun.
How does he feel that his interactions with Manet shaped his work? Was he influenced much by Manet or Monet or even Mary?
Were you influenced much by other painters? I mean, yes and no, but he really had his own style. Why did you choose ballerinas? Was it because I know it's the fantasy and you think they're beautiful and all this, but is it also because nobody else was really painting them? And that is also correct. Did you gain more notoriety because you were painting ballerinas? Not really. How was your relationship with Monet or any of the other painters? Did you have any mentors? He did have, it seems to be one mentor, and are they like someone famous? Not really. Um, did you need that? I mean, did you show your work? No, I feel like he was very private. I just feel like he didn't really showcase his work much. He just really did not speak to many people. I just feel he's so private.
So if he's private and shy, how did he go about convincing ballerinas to set or to stand, or did he just, do it? Did they know they were being sketched or painted, or did he do it voyeuristically?
Did they know that they were being painted or not all the time? They didn't know. I mean, the ones that posed for him, they knew did you pay? He had to pay them. Um, and how did you get them to do that? I mean, he would just break out. Listen, that was the time period as well. You just took your easel, you took your canvas with you, and you didn't really have to say anything. You would tell them where to sit, how to stand, things like that, but very, very quiet.
And is he going to become an artist in the next lifetime?
Are you going to be an artist? Yes, absolutely. He loves being a painter. Were you a painter before in a previous life? Yes, he's always been a painter as much as possible.
Did he consider himself an impressionist, or did he think he was more of a like realistic style painter?
Ooh, do you consider yourself an impressionist? No. He says I'm a fantasist. I'm a fantasy painter.
Hmm. Did he love ballet, or did he just because they were convenient subjects paint them?
Did you love ballet? He said it was okay. Is it just that they were convenient subjects? I mean, he liked the art of ballet. He didn't so much like all the music and the theater behind it, but he just liked the figures of ballet, the ballerinas. And he was just obsessed almost with their figures, their tone, their movements. But as far as like, did he love the ballet? No, not really.
Why didn't he ever get married?
Why didn't he ever get married? He didn't see the need for it.
Hmm. Was he in love with any women or men during his lifetime and just maybe didn't want to admit to himself?
Were you in love with any women in your lifetime or men? Women. Were you in love with them? Oh, so many he was in love with. He would like obsess about them. I mean, you don't need to get married if you're having a relationship in these paintings.
An affair of the fantasy, I guess, and it never gets stale.
Hmm.
What was his favorite medium to paint with? But he experimented with pictures later in life too.
What was your favorite medium to paint with? He liked watercolor. He liked watercolor, and what else? He loved watercolor actually. And what else? Did you paint with like acrylic and oil? And he liked to use certain types of dyes as well. It was not unusual for him to dye part of the canvas and then work around the dye. Like that was a real challenge for him, he says.
You didn't paint much or any outdoors, which a lot of your contemporary artists did. They engaged in, painting nature. Were you more interested in like the dynamic movement that you tried to capture, or why didn't nature captivate you like it did of some of your other painters?
Why didn't nature captivate you? He thought it was boring. He thought that people were fascinating. Movement was fascinating. Expressions on people's faces, those were fascinating. Who needs the outside when you've got the inside?
Did you do any meditation or self-introspection in that lifetime?
No.
Hmm. How did he view Mary Cassatt? As an equal, as a rival, or a friend, something else?
So, he really liked her. How did you view her as an equal? Well, he thought she was better than him.
Hmm.
Um, he admired her. He really did. He thought that she had so much talent and that, you know, he wishes he were as talented as her. But I think I'm saying to him now, but you are extremely talented. And he doesn't really believe it so much.
Wow. We talk about that a lot in the CTT as well, those disbelief systems that we have. So, how many lifetimes as a human has Edward Degas had up until Edward Degas?
How many lifetimes have you had as a human? About 300.
Hmm. And yet still has that self-doubt, even though he's achieved kind of critically acclaimed
I know.
status.
Why do you keep holding on to that self-doubt? What is it that the self-doubt does for you throughout the lifetimes? See, that self-doubt is what keeps him withdrawn as well. So he quite likes that. He thinks that that's, part of his success is being so withdrawn. So how can somebody who is so withdrawn from society, from interaction, produce such beautiful things? You would think that he knows nothing about individuals, but he's being withdrawn makes him extremely observant. And so it served a purpose.
Where was the point in his incarnations which made him shy? Or did he decide to be shy when he came down into the Edward Degas incarnation?
Oh no, that shyness, that goes way back into tribal times when he couldn't bear to kill an animal. Men were naturally indoctrinated to be hunters, tribal hunters, part of the tribe that hunts. And he couldn't bear it. He couldn't. he couldn't deal with having to spear an animal. So he was made into an outcast, and that is what made him very shy. He was picked on. He was small in that lifetime as well. And he's grateful for the lesson.
Can you change that personality trait in your next incarnation, or is it something that always sticks with you energetically? A personality affect.
Can you change that personality? I mean, does it always stick with you? An element will always stick with him, but if he wanted to, he could change it. I mean, it doesn't have to be so severe. He says he should lighten up a bit.
Can he walk us through the template for his next incarnation and tell us what sort of things he's chosen for it so far?
Well, the same grandparents, the same parents. What else are you doing? He's gonna be deaf. Why? Why do you want to be deaf? Because it will enhance his visual technique. Now, I know he had eye problems as Degas.
Hmm.
Why did you have eye problems? Why did you have the problems with blindness? Because that was torture. When he had severe eye problems and really couldn't produce, paintings like he was, you couldn't do very detailed work. In fact, it was very difficult. And in the end, he had to give up painting, and it was mental and emotional torture, he says. So in the next lifetime, he's going to be deaf.
What's the benefit of having to give up something that you love? Wouldn't you want to carry on to the end of your life doing something you enjoy?
No, he needed to experience that anguish. Um, and I feel what he's telling me, there was a bit of self-harm element in the end as well. It was very torturous.
And so why create that torture for yourself if you can manifest anything while you're writing the life plan? What's the benefit of having to go through that? Because we see that it harms you in perpetuity.
What is the benefit of creating that torture? Well, when you get to the other side, it just makes you appreciate all of the things that you do have. You don't have eyes and ears and taste and smell and touch up there. It's part of the human experience. And it just makes you have, he says, in his thoughts, feelings, and opinions, more gratitude for being human.
Does he have more gratitude for being a soul or more gratitude for the human experiences that he's had?
Human experiences by far.
Hmm. And can he tell us about another human experience which he feels shaped his soul in a different way? Maybe a hardship he came across that he overcame or that he had to deal with in all the 300 pre-incarnations.
Let me have a look. So can you tell us about another hardship? Well, just never being good enough. That's a common theme that runs in his lifetimes. Never feeling good enough, never being good enough, failing athletically. He's not much of an athlete at all. Now we're going into lifetimes that don't focus on athleticism, whereas prior lifetimes, it was all athletic. Apart from this lifetime as Degas, but before that, it was very athletic.
So if you can program anything, why wouldn't you program everything into your next life?
Ooh, if you can program anything. Because it takes out the element of hardship. and specificity. Sorry, I hope I said that right. Becoming an expert at something. You can have people that are good at everything, but an expert at nothing. He likes being an expert.
And he thinks that helps better his soul path, his ascension path.
Absolutely.
What does he do to pass the time over there?
What do you do to pass the time over there? He's still very much a fantasist, he's stuck in like daydreams and fantasies about scenarios, circumstances for the next incarnation. Are you going to be married in the next life? No, no, he's not.
How long ago did he get the message that he was coming to the psychic medium Liz Cross show?
He's always known.
We just found out
I
this
know.
morning.
I know. I'm like, wow. Even before you were Degas? Yes.
Have other psychic mediums contacted him?
Have other psychic mediums contacted you? Not publicly, no.
Wow. Well, this is a first. We're excited to have you here. Um,
Yeah.
what does he want to share with us that we don't know about his personality? Because there's a lot of mystery around him, the, enigmatic personality.
Would you be a modern day love addict or sex addict? Both.
Mhm.
He would be a modern day love addict and a sex addict. Were you a bit of a sex addict in that last lifetime? No. No, he rarely engaged in sexual activity. Too scared, but would you often get a high from being a love addict? Like he would fall in love, but I'm saying, but isn't that kind of, a waste of time to fall in love with lots of different fantasies and people that may not exist? Oh, complete waste of time, he says. He said that really confidently. Yeah, complete waste of time. I totally agree. So then why do it? Because it's part of the human experience, that ability to engage in imagination and fantasy and escape. And I'm saying, but you do that in the spirit world too. He goes, yes, I do. So why would you just say that that's down to the human experience only? Well, it's not, but it feels more real. The feelings are very different when you're a human and you're engaging in fantasy thinking and, make believe. Up there, the feelings are just not as intense, they're not as strong.
Huh.
Is there anything that you can tell us about your personality that we don't know? Oh, he had a foot fetish. There you go.
Can you
He
speak
had a
up? He
foot
had a what?
fetish. He had a foot fetish.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever tickles your boat, I guess.
But okay, then I've got some more questions. I'm sorry. So, would you want to touch like the ballerina's feet? Now you understand why he liked ballerinas, right?
I guess, yeah.
Because
Did
of
they
the training.
moving their feet well, I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
He had a foot fetish.
Close to naked feet, I guess then. So that's why it's appealing in that era. Will he
You
always
know,
have that? Did he always have that in past lives? Was it just a Degas thing?
was it just a Degas thing? No, he's a bit of a pervy when it comes to feet. Now, I don't know how much you know about people with foot fetishes. Do you know a
I
lot
I
about
don't
people
I
with?
can honestly
Okay.
tell the audience I'm not I don't know, haven't studied up on foot fetishisms.
So Interestingly enough, for those of you that are new that are listening and you don't realize that my past occupation used to be a dispatcher for many years for the police, and there used to be this guy that would frequent a library where students would often not underage students, I'm talking about university students, and would hang out and do their studying, and he would offer to pay them $50 to have their socks. I mean, a
What
foot
the
fetish. Yeah.
frick?
I'm like, he could have had mine for 10.99. No, I'm teasing. But I mean, that was the running joke that we used to say. Well, we could have sold him a pair for $5. I would
Oh
have wore
my
them all week.
God.
Yeah, he used to offer $50 for their socks to take home their socks. Now, most students, the girl students, they didn't, this
Is
creepy
that a
guy would give
pair
me,
or is that just one?
no,
Not that
it's a pair.
I just, what's the going rate? Okay.
It's a pair. And but the thing is, some of them would get really annoyed, and then of course they would call the police.
Well,
They
yeah,
would
they
call,
should, I would say.
you're right, exactly. And of course, we would have to go over there and cite him, but he'd only ever get like misdemeanors or, something very low. I can't remember what the charge would be, but it was an absolute obsession, no matter how many times he had been caught. And there are people online that sell their socks to others with foot fetishes, right? Or,
Well, that's a
you
good
know,
advice for people out there struggling. Yes, apparently.
right. It's a very strange, I shouldn't judge, but of course, to those
Well,
of
we
us
can.
who
I
don't,
mean, we could judge. Not in our place, but
so I have to ask him like, what is the feeling like? Why did you choose that in your lifetime to have? Because it can be very compulsive. Extremely so, he says. So you had an extreme foot fetish. Yes, he did. And I mean, what was what was it? Did you take the ballerina shoes, the ballet shoes? Did you um sometimes, yes. But he would use I'm going to paint your ballerina shoes or
it was a
ballet shoes.
ruse.
Sorry. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Ooh.
how does he feel now that you can just, go out and buy people's socks online? Is he jealous of our society that has this sock fetish buying culture? I don't know how big of a culture it is. You can let me know in the comments, but
He plans to engage in it 100%. It
oh,
makes it so much easier. You don't have to pretend that you're painting ballet shoes in order to obtain a pair.
well, fetishism will be the death of his future endeavors as a painter, I suppose. If he could
Wow.
paint the afterlife for us and show us what that looks like, how would he describe it?
Bleak,
Man,
colorless.
way to be dark. I mean, we know there are no socks there, but be more specific.
Um, it's just not vibrant like the colors here on the earth plane. This is a painter, so he's looking at it from a perspective of the colors and the vibrancy in yellows, he says, and blues and greens. And there's so many colors, and we can make colors and, engaging with those colors and feeling those colors. So in the spirit world, he says there's none of that. It's bland.
Well, that's the
That's his
disc.
opinion.
Right, that's his opinion. But if he could paint it for us and tell us what it looks like, as opposed to what the lack looks like, what does it look like?
Goose gray, goose feather gray.
Is it always Thursday over there, pretty much? Rainy Thursday?
Is it always rainy Thursday? Pretty much. Yeah, it's gray. He says he sees everything in gray. It's just various shades.
And he's been there for 100 years? Don't you want to get out of there?
No, he's taking his time. Do you see the ballerinas? Have you engaged with the ballerinas? Occasionally, do you still feel obsessive or compulsive about them and fantasist about them up there? No, not as much. No, hardly at all.
All right. Well, thank you, Liz Cross. Thank you, Edward Degas. And each one of you out there, we appreciate your suggestions. Please leave a comment below. Let us know which artist or famous person who's crossed over you'd like us to chat with. And we look forward to having more of these discussions to find out what drove, and in this case, it's stinky feet.
And don't forget, Mr. Reality has a tip jar down below. Thank you.
See you later.